believe it. That's Clone Force 99.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you're getting. Ha! We're all you need!
They call themselves the Bad Batch. Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 103. Welcome to the YouTube live show. You did it. You made it. You're here. We want to see you again, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, get notified when we go live, post new videos. Feel free to use that super chat button tonight, and we will read your comment live on the show. My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am one of your 4 hosts today. With us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, painter extraordinaire and footy player. It's Space Poppy, John Rodriguez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, yo, good. Yeah, good.
Right on. Next up, he's my go-to consigliere when it comes to all things barbecue. It's Rami Shanaday. How are you, man?
I am good. I wasn't sure where you were going with that one.
Well, you're gonna have some barbecue experiences coming up that we'll talk about later on in the show.
Okay.
And finally, you know him as the Left Coast Avenger. We know him as Luke Yates. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I also like barbecue. Where are we going?
Huh?
Atlanta.
Well, yeah, it's got to be Hotlanta.
Oh,
baby.
Hotlanta. Oh my gosh. I'm jealous. I wish I could go.
There's a whole controversy debate. I guess you would say when it comes to barbecue, because you have like the wet versus the dry. What is it? Tennessee versus Texas. There's, everyone's got the best barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious, what is? We'll end with Echo because he's gonna go into this whole thing. Me personally, I if I had the choice of anything, it's gonna be a dry rub. I like.
What about the barbecue?
Like a sweet and spicy dry rub.
You're a dry guy. I like that.
What about the barbecue? I like barbecue too, but I really prefer a dry rub.
It took a while. It's like a grenade. It had to land.
Yeah, that was good. We all stared at it for a minute and we're like, oh my God.
What about you, John?
Well, I'm from Argentina, and we have our own quote unquote barbecue. We do asados.
Best. You guys do the
which
best.
Is
right?
actually, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if it's the best. I think it's the best personally, but everyone has their preferences. It's all what you what you prefer. But yeah, Argentinian for me is the best. The best.
Okay.
Try it if you haven't.
Luke?
I gotta go sweet and spicy. I'm a big fan of barbecue sides. So we start talking baked beans, we start talking coleslaws.
But the meat, buddy.
Meats. Yeah,
Corn.
the meats. I like the meats. I like
Do
the
you
meats.
do you like your meat dry? Do you like getting your meat wet?
I like it. I like my meat wet. I like it saucy. I'm a sauce boss. Yeah. I'm gonna dunk. And also the other side of my family, the in-law side of my family, over the time I've been together with my wife, have exposed me to some awesome Korean barbecue. And that's been a learning. That's been a big learning in my life the last
That's not fair.
so many years. Yeah. So I've been treated. I've been getting treated real nice in the barbecue department from the fam. So
I believe that Korean barbecue is the superior.
It's pretty goddamn good, man.
It's
I don't know. It's like
top three.
it's tough because
It's
you
pretty
can't
great,
really
yeah.
say this. In
Top
my
three is
opinion, you
fair.
can't
It can
have a
rotate.
superior barbecue.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
all barbecues created equally. There's things I like about all.
I don't see color when I look at barbecue. I don't discriminate.
We love them for their differences. What about you,
I
Raimi?
eat it all. Yeah.
Okay, so where I work, our headquarters is in Atlanta. I am there a lot. I've been going there for many, many years now. And so when I'm there, one of the things that it's like I'm not at home, so there's not a lot to do other than go back to the hotel at night. So I've started, long ago, I had started like exploring different barbecue places and restaurants. And universally, everybody kept sending me to this one place called Fox Brothers. So it's these two brothers. They're from Texas, actually. So it's Texas barbecue. But they set up shop in Atlanta in this little punk district called Little Five Points. It's like there's like graffiti all over the buildings and stuff like that, but it's like artistic graffiti. Like,
Nice.
like even the post office has like a graffiti mural on the side of it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
So I've been going there for forever. I've been there through like a tree falling down in a storm and like taking out their dining area, and like everybody's just still going to support the place and, you know, eating outside while they're rebuilding, and
Nice.
they've built it up again. And I mean, like the giant smokers, like in a shack out in the parking lot, and like you just get into the neighborhood and you can tell. John has been there with me because we went at DragonCon last year, so John can
did you
vouch.
guys go
John
last
can
year?
vouch for
He
John
took
can
us
vouch for the
out
place.
there. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's amazing. We went twice actually. We were there for only a few days. We went twice to the same place
Mhm.
because it was that good.
Fox Bros. Shout out.
Yeah, man. We had rib,
Yeah.
and they have a
It's a
bunch of
cab.
sides too.
They
By
do.
the way, if you're a side guy in a sauce box,
side
that is
guy.
a great spot. Great.
Okay,
spot.
so one of the things that like I always, because I lived this experience myself, and then once I was a believer, so they have this thing called chicken fried ribs as an appetizer.
Whoa.
And you think, what is this? Like, and everybody rolls their eyes and they're like, this sounds weird. I don't know.
it
And
sounds
I'm just
awesome.
like, trust me, try it. And then everybody tries and they're like,
imagine
oh my
that.
God, this is amazing. So
I would
they
I
are
would eat
in
a chicken
fact-
fried shoe.
They are in fact
Yeah.
chicken fried
Yeah.
ribs, and it's amazing.
Like you eat chicken fried anything, I'll eat it. Jeez, man.
Chicken fried wallaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they
So
do they
Ed
have
Works wallaby.
do they do the okra?
They do okra, and it's not slimy. It's very well done. It is the way that it needs to be. If you can get
They have-
burn ends, they have burn ends, but only on Saturdays. So, but if they have it, you go get that. But what they're known for is the sliced brisket, and you can
Oh, that's what I'm
you
talking
can get
about.
it sliced or chopped or whatever, but it's super good, and it's got the dry rub on it. But then they've got an assortment of sauces on the table that you can put on it, so you can kind of do it either way.
So we
Sliced
should
brisket
probably
is my
Oh,
jam.
go ahead.
And then Luke,
Oh,
Luke,
no.
you're
Yeah.
about the sides, right? So they've
I'm
got
about
all
the
the
sides.
they got all the sides you'd want, but the one that you got to get is the Frito pie.
Oh my god, dude!
Oh.
It is literally
heard
the
the
old
tales.
school lunchbox sized bag of Fritos. They open it up, they throw a scoop of chili in there, and some cheese and
Dude.
onions, and then they
That's some
just
high school.
the bag drops on
memory
the plate,
vibes.
and that's what you get.
The legends have been foretold. I've heard of the Frito pie, man. That's what I need in my
Wow.
life. That's exactly it. That's what I've been missing.
I
Welcome
think
to
I
the
had mac and
Barbecue
cheese.
Podcast
Oh,
with
fuck. Sorry.
I want to go to
was
Dragon
getting
Con just
excited
for
on
the
food, dude. I
barbecue
thought we were
stuff.
talking
Yeah.
about food for a minute. All right. Sorry
Oh
about
my
that.
gosh.
My
May
bad.
says, May, thank you for the super chat. Maybe Tech is watching Veggie Tales, the Water Buffalo song from Silly Songs with Larry. You know
He
what?
might be.
If you guys have been wondering where Tech is, so have we. We've put some ads out on some milk cartons. We have a hashtag going out. Where is Tech? If you guys would like to hear from him again, we certainly would. Hashtag Where is Tech? Tag him. Put the word out there. Print out those flyers and post them around your town.
Post the flyers.
Maybe we can hang some around DragonCon next week.
Oh my god, that would
just
be
to-
so funny.
I mean,
Oh
I'm
my
sure
god.
he's safe.
Make them
but-
available for people to print. I guess they could
Yeah.
just screenshot it, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
That's a great idea.
Where is Tech?
Oh, is it is? All right, sorry.
Where's
I'll fix it.
Hashtag Where is Tech?
Oh man, I'm gonna make the
Ba-ba-ba.
"Have you seen him?" animal chin style graphic.
Yeah. And it's
I'm
just
gonna make one of those right now.
Ooh, Rachel T. You got a keen eye there. Okay. But yes, so next week is Dragon Con, and I guess we should probably tell the listeners we might be a little light on the pod next week because Raimi is not going to be here. Raimi is going to be live in person at Dragon Con.
Woo.
He's got some surprise costumes to bring. And I think he's doing I think Raimi's going to be doing a meetup at Fox Brothers Barbecue. Date and time TBD. Make sure that you follow at Pabu Frick on the socials so that you can meet up with him.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
You guys
That's
should
a good idea, though.
You guys should do a dad batch Frito pie eating contest.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Oh my gosh!
I'd get in contact with the place first and see if it's cool.
No, dude.
Be like,
dude, we just mob.
Pig
We just
out.
mob
They'll
up.
be cool. So one time
We'll need
with some coworkers.
467 Frito pies, please.
Yeah.
One time I was there with some coworkers and we were there for a while. And the owner came out at the end of the night and he's like, I just had to come out and talk to you guys because I've never seen a party of 4 order this much food and not have anything to go at the end of it. So he had to come out and congratulate us. That's great.
Well done.
It is that good. You gotta stuff yourself, man. It's
I think Brian's gonna be there, but we don't know. Well, Brian's gonna be on the show next week, so he might not be.
No,
Dragon Con.
Brian
no,
can't come.
I think he's not after all. Yeah,
He can't come.
No, bummer.
I asked.
Well, at least he'll be on the pod. So, yeah, guys. Okay, so barbecue talk aside, Dragon Con week aside, how's everybody doing? How's been everybody's week?
good.
Okay.
Amy's first day of kindergarten was today, so that was kind of beginning of a new adventure. Yeah, it's really different from the little preschool she was going to. It's like a huge K through 6th grade, so there's a ton of kids, and yeah, it was kind of like leaving her there, like, all right, I'll pick you up later.
That's the hardest part, dude. And you gotta
New place.
did they have the gate where you have to you can't go past it?
No. We were able to go in the hallway. We dropped the kid off
okay.
right at the door. Like, here you go. See ya. Out of here.
My
No,
kid's
I mean,
school is when we did the kindergarten thing. There's a blue gate that no adults are allowed past,
Oh,
other than the ones that work at the school.
sure.
So if they ever see an adult pass those lines, it's like, hey, like, who is this person?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we dropped the kid off at that gate, and then you just watch them walk away.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of. It was very comfortable for the kid and for us.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Drop off. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Just growing up, man.
It's growing up, man.
It's crazy, man.
Kindergarten
Yeah.
today, marriage tomorrow.
Oh,
So we're leaving for college very soon.
Yeah. Brian's daughter just went to college. He was.
I hope he's
a little
doing
broken
okay.
up
Yeah,
about
he
it.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Was he here? He wasn't here last week.
I don't
Not
think he
last
was. Yeah.
He was.
No,
I don't think he
that's
mentioned
that's why he wasn't here because they were dropping Levi off.
Yeah, but we'll let him tell that story because he's probably gonna tell it way better than we can.
Yeah.
We can.
So nice.
Hopefully he brings the tissues.
So last Friday, my wife and I we were able to somehow negotiate a date night. The stars aligned. We got sitters for my mom was able to sit for the kids, and
Nice.
it was okay, the stars are aligning, right? So I got Alien Romulus tickets. We saw Alien Romulus. It's so good. It is so, and it's scary. Not like
alien.
it's not like I would say it's got more jump scares than Alien or Aliens. I would say it's got some of the most jump scares out of any of the movies in the franchise, but it's not scary that I shouldn't say that it's not mentally scary, but there are some scenes in there, especially towards the end of the movie, where my wife and I were like,
and just to mention, when I actually went to the theater too with my wife. I went to see Deadpool Wolverine. She hadn't seen it. But as we were in line to get concessions, we saw the actor that plays the Xenomorph in that film.
Oh,
He's
damn.
he's a tall, skinny dude. Yeah. And I'd only recognized him because I saw on Instagram someone had posted like, "Oh, congrats to so and so," like his friend. Congrats on the role, whatever. And it was this guy, and I saw him like, oh my god, that's the same. And you look at him and you're like, that's the same guy. Like, there's no way that's someone else. And
it's like when you see Doug Jones.
Like, you're like, that's one person. There's
Yeah.
no way there's two of you. Yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend watching Alien Romulus in the theater. It's one of those movies that definitely
Luke's gonna
benefits from seeing in the theater. But yeah, it is very the queeze factor of this movie is on another level.
I can't wait.
So anyway, we're done with the movie. We're already grossed out from the ending, and then we get in the car. It gets worse. We get in the car and we're like, okay, let's choose where we're gonna go for dinner. And we get the Ring alarm. We have a Ring doorbell. We get the notification that someone's ringing our doorbell.
Okay, is this the one? Is this the thing you sent us? In the
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Sure is.
we both happen to check, like we both open up the Ring notification at the same time on our individual phones because we're looking for a dinner place. And there's a kid that lives across the street. And he's about the same age as our kids, but they kind of don't really play with each other. Sometimes they'll ride their bikes together in the front, whatever, but they don't really know each other that well. So this kid, he's walking up our driveway. Should I go into full detail? Or should I just give the high level?
Keep it PG. Keep it PG. Yeah.
Okay.
Just,
Long story short, he's got a handful of poop
no.
and rings our doorbell.
What?
And you can
His
see
his own, and you know that it's his own based on the video content. It's bad.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And you can
It's on
see
camera.
you can see everything in the crevices of his cuticles and under his
Whoa.
nails.
What?
It's wet.
Oh,
And then he just
no.
goes right up to the camera. Boing, and then he just laughs hysterically
Yo.
and runs away. A ding dong ditch.
With a
poopy
dookie.
finger.
With a little
a
dookie.
poo-dong ditch.
A
Dookie ditch.
dookie door dong ditch. Wow.
Dookie
As
door
if we
dong
weren't
ditch.
grossed out enough from the Alien movie, we both screamed out the words "no." We were like, "No!"
Oh my god.
So I mean, I was
brutal.
extremely adrenaline pumped, aggravated. I was ready to go on a
Poop on his doorstep.
I was ready. I was ready to retaliate and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. My wife,
No
the
way.
level-headed person, and thank you, John, for I called the dad batch on a video call because I was like, these are my plans. This is what I'm gonna do to get back. And John answered, and he was like, "No, dude, you need to do this. You need to do that. Cool heads prevail." So I let my wife do all
Yeah,
the talking. We addressed it with the
Oh,
neighbors.
Wow.
I was wondering.
Addressed it with the parents. I got to give kudos to my wife because she handled it like a mature, cool-headed adult. And me standing behind her, my face was turning red because I was like,
Did you show the parents the video?
"Oh, I saved the video and then I texted it to them."
Here, yeah.
So
And they probably showed it to him, you little.
I think I missed the video, but did he pick up like a dog poop and bring it to
No, it's
your
his own.
doorbell?
It was his own.
No.
He pooped? Like you saw him poop?
He like
You see
you
him
see
reach
you see
into
him
his...
reach back,
Really?
and then he
That
like
is so gnarly.
and then runs up to the thing and
What?
like yeah, like
He was
You know.
so amused with himself.
dude.
He's like
Yeah, and he
laughing
ran
and
like
stuff.
giggling
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
That is crazy.
brutal.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That stinks, man.
it sure did.
Fox breath.
Yeah. So that's how I started my weekend. Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
But anyway, like I said, Alien Romulus. Go watch it.
What's grosser than Alien Romulus? A Dookie doorbell. Jeez.
You guys watch
That's
anything?
impressive.
I have been watching something, but we're going to talk about that in a different segment. But other than that, I rewatched Deadpool and Wolverine, which didn't hit as hard. We were talking about this in the chat. Brian mentioned it too. Like, it doesn't hit as hard the second time, but it's still good. Yeah. Like it feels a little slower because you're already expecting things to happen. You know, the first time it was just like, oh wow, you know, and now you're
the excitement, the initial excitement is subdued.
It's like,
and you can kind of like
the second time. The second time I saw it, we got like a little date, kind of the same way. You know, we got some time, ran to the theater to go see it. My wife's always on board to go like check out the Marvel stuff or Star Wars. So we get there and I didn't even know how far into it, but like a half hour, 30 minutes into it, I look over and she's sleeping, and I was like, "Oh, babe, wake up! Gambit's on screen. Babe, wake up! Skeleton Wolverine. Babe, wake up! Age of Apocalypse." You know, and just everything I like. And she was just like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "It's good, but I'm just so tired." You know, because your parents, you get busy, and you know, a dark movie theater, like, you know, it's easy to conk out. So I didn't falter for it at all, and it was really cute and sweet and funny because it's you know, it's like happens at theaters, but it took some of the like luster out of the movie in the moment, you know, where you're having these big beats happen.
You're excited for
holding back excitement and be like, and then wake up, he's saying something cool, you know.
I was doing that with my wife too, just like tapping her like, okay, like oh like this, like watch
this part. Yeah.
Hold on a second, Remy, you've seen it, right?
No, not yet. At this point, I'll see it when it comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
John, you took your wife to go see it?
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Take Remy.
Sorry, Remy.
I was ready to go, and John's like, "No, I got to take her first." So it's okay.
Oh, jeez.
I told you a couple weeks ago, and we never arranged anything.
I think you're right, though. I think it's so great, but it doesn't quite hit as that first exciting time that you see it.
Yeah, you're just expecting stuff to happen, and I think in the first time you're probably just full of like, I don't know if it's adrenaline or what, but by the second time you're expecting stuff to happen, and it's happening slower than you're expecting. So it's like you were like accelerated. I don't know. So
I think
like
it was slower. The surprise around every corner of seeing it the first time.
Yeah,
you know, that adrenaline rush. Now let me ask you guys this: after seeing it a second time, because what I've kind of put at the pinnacle of like not only my comic book movies, but I mean, let's be real, it's kind of probably at the top of my list. Endgame versus Deadpool Wolverine. Like because when we came out of Deadpool Wolverine, we were all like, that's the best Marvel movie, maybe / movie we've ever seen.
Right.
Now seeing it a second time, I think I'm still gonna stay with like Endgame as being my all-time favorite. But it's like right there. I feel like the things that came out of Endgame, the end results, the emotional ride that kind of provided was on a different wavelength than Deadpool Wolverine.
Like Cap getting the hammer. That was the most epic scene ever, for sure.
Yeah.
But growing up personally, Kit Kat.
There was a lot more at stake for Endgame.
Yeah.
The stakes were much higher.
The stakes were way higher. But
plus,
me growing up.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Plus, it took us 10 years to get there.
That too, yeah. It was a whole saga.
True.
I was gonna say, growing up, I was more on comic book wise. I was like way on the X-Men side. X-Men, X-Force, X-Factor, most of that stuff. And I wasn't so like the Avengers were kind of like, Like, it kind of was like that, right?
They were like second tier kind of for comics in that era.
Yeah,
it's weird like to say, but they weren't. Yeah. I liked Cap, and I liked Cap's runs of comics typically, but a lot of the Avengers, I don't know.
Yeah, just as a whole, I was kind of like, it's not as interesting to me as the X-Men, blue and gold, or all the Jim Lee runs and stuff, like all that artwork. It was just more appealing to me. And whatever, so that's why I lean more on that side. So I think I would stick to
Stick to Wolverine.
But close
Yeah.
second is Endgame because it is
Yeah,
that epic.
they're right
yeah.
there. They're right there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my favorite hero for the first time done in a way that kind of redeems all the past.
Oh, dude. Yeah, in that sense, like the thing that they accomplished with it, to be able to leave it in such a kind of a beautiful spot with the Fox properties and just tied a nice bow on the end of that.
And we got Gambit.
Accomplished, dude. And we're gonna get more.
That's huge. Yeah, I hope so.
I think there was more emotionally at stake for Endgame, but when we see why Thor was crying, I think that's going to change things.
That's Secret Wars, right?
I think that's Secret Wars, dude. I feel like that's
that's what I'm saying. Once we see why Thor is crying,
that's crazy.
That's gonna be so good.
That's so crazy.
Wow. After that whole ordeal on Friday for me, I just played Fortnite all week because the Marvel update came out, and literally everyone in the game is just playing as a Marvel character.
I'm this close to downloading it. Close.
It's free.
I know.
Dude.
I'm this close.
Yeah, and then let me know. We'll squad up. And and then every weapon in the game now is like the hot weapon is Captain America's shield.
Ooh.
You could literally if it's like you against 4 people, you throw the shield and it goes bing 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 bing, hits all 4 and it comes back to you.
No way.
Oh, nice. It's so good. And then you can get War Machine's jetpack, and then it has the guns that come out, and then it's so fun. When I'm playing with my kid, of course, I only play for my kid.
That's sick, dude. So good.
Anyway, well, I think you know what, guys. Let's get into it. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. If you'd like to show your support for the show, pick up an exclusive Big Nozzle Energy shorts and some Dad Batch logo slides at thedadbatch.com. Your support goes directly into making this show possible. And now for the news.
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
I was so professional, Stephen, with the whole now for the news. very, very serious about that. Okay, so I actually missed something from D23 last week with our coverage from that. So Mandalorian and Grogu will be coming to Smuggler's Run. Right now, the ride features a mission that you're doing for Hondo Anaka, but Filoni was on stage for the announcement at D23, and it's going to coincide with the release of the film in May of 2026. So I don't know exactly the specifics of what this is going to look like, but the Mandalorian and Grogu will be part of the ride for at least a while in both the California and Florida parks. So I know that this, as well as some other D23 news, kind of a roundup that they've got posted on the website, it can be found at the link that Steph is dropping into the chat right now. There it is. So next up, following up on our coverage of the prop store auction from a few weeks ago. So we've got some final numbers. So the Biker Scout helmet that they had from Return of the Jedi that they had matched up to the film, they know it was used in the film, ultimately sold for, it closed for $315,000. So one helmet, $315,000.
Is that lower than they expected?
I think they knew that it was going to go somewhere between $250 and $500. I think is what they had.
Okay, so it's
when we asked, because we asked them that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's in the ballpark of what they were looking for. I think something else that they had on auction there that went for, I think, more than they were expecting was the Indiana Jones fedora. So that ended up closing at $630,000.
Damn.
Yeah, and it wasn't even used on screen. Like it was made for the film, and they know what scene it was intended for. Or sorry, it wasn't that it wasn't.
I think it was. It was,
but it wasn't worn by Harrison. It was like
it was worn by both. It was worn by both.
It was.
Was it?
It was worn by both. Yeah, it was worn by him and then by the stuntman.
It was Harrison's hand-me-down to the stuntman.
No, I think exactly that. Yeah, it was Harrison's first, and then they threw it in a bin somewhere, and then the stuntman got the hat and he wrote his name in it and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, $630,000.
that's
So,
wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, so and by the way, this tidbit came to us from chat moderator extraordinaire Steph. So don't forget, you can send us your news tips or articles that you'd like to hear us dig into on the show at news@thedadbatch.com. So the trailer for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was released by Bethesda Games. It's long; it's like 2.5 minutes. I'm going to start playing it and I'll stop it, and then you can go watch the rest of it later. But we'll watch a little bit of it because it's got some. No, you don't want to watch any of it, Steven? You're shaking your head.
Well, no, they pulled down our episode last week for showing all those trailers.
All right, well, we won't show it then.
Go watch the trailer, everyone.
So
we're in the YouTube timeout right now.
Next up on the news. So I guess so Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So it's coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC on November 9th, and then PlayStation 5 in spring sometime of 25. They haven't released a date for that. So next up, in case you've been living under a rock or for the past few days or haven't been on social media, Disney and or Lucasfilm, so this detail seems to be randomly changing from one article to the next, has elected to not renew Acolyte for a second season. According to pretty much every Instagram, Facebook, blog account who all cited Variety as their source, who in turn cited Deadline, who in turn cited absolutely nobody for this information. So, you know, take all this with a grain of salt. The reality is it's been everywhere, but I also haven't seen anyone officially announce this yet.
No denials either.
There's also no denials. And I have heard through various channels that this is true, but nothing that can be confirmed publicly. So, so again, with a grain of salt, I also heard that I haven't gone to look at this. So somebody else that we know posted up that the Disney store pulled all the Acolyte merch.
Oh,
weird.
So if they're not even selling merch anymore, like if they've got like a warehouse of merch sitting that they're not even selling, that's an interesting. I don't know if that's true. I didn't have time because that was literally like minutes before we started recording that I heard that. But yeah, so I mean, the story came out. So to add a little bit of actual factual information to this uncorroborated story, the story did come out 2 days after media data company Nielsen released their report on the show. So Acolyte was, by the numbers, the least watched Star Wars show released to date. Episode 8, which was the season's finale, was the first and only episode to break into the streaming platform's top 10 list for any week the show aired. So the numbers didn't necessarily back it up as far as Disney's performance expectations. So regardless of, and listen, decisions are made based on dollars, not like, so don't listen to like, oh, the haters won, or like all of that's just people being upset by not getting what they wanted, which on both sides of the equation, this is a business decision. If it wasn't performing, they're not going to renew it. So, speaking of shows that maybe aren't going to get renewed, Boba Fett actor Tamora Morrison was on a panel put together by Screen Rant at Fan Expo Chicago. So, and he made comments about the potential for him to reprise the role of Boba Fett on the show or in the film. So he said, "I understand they're going to do a Mando with Grogu movie next, and things have changed a little too. There was going to be a Mando season 4, I think, and I was going to turn up in that, but as of now, I'm still waiting for a phone call." So, and I've also seen reports tied to this interview that he did that indicated that there was no indication of any kind of season 2 for the show as well.
Dude, I've seen the clickbait headlines for this where it says Boba Fett canceled, and then like they go and they cite, you know, the thing that you just did, and they don't even mention that he didn't say anything about being canceled. He just said that he hasn't received the call yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that in itself I think is cap. Yes, I just used that word.
Hey, you stunned me there. That was amazing.
we don't speak
Way
that
to
language.
bring in the youthful demographic, dude. That was sick.
I think that if anything, he is a product of the industry, and he knows how to not necessarily build. Yeah, like it's not like the lying. It's not lying. It's like what's his name? Toby Maguire saying, "No, I'm not in Spider-Man," and then
he's in
same thing.
Yeah,
Like how cool is it going to be when we're watching the Mando and Grogu movie
and Boba Fett shows up?
And then Boba Fett just like the slave one just appears out of nowhere and like saves him,
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden you hear the Sonic thing,
the seismic charge.
Yeah, just like
Tem's not dumb. He signed an NDA. He'll abide by it. So
yeah, that might be it too.
Last up in the news. So Mick Gino will be the next Star Wars sound guy. So Mick, who's the son of Michael Giacchino, who was the composer for Rogue One, among many other famous films, he's going to be the composer for the upcoming show. So Mick's other composing credits include Muppets Mayhem, Zootopia, Zootopia Plus, which is the Disney Plus series. The series The Dirty Black Bag, Extinct, among several others. A lot of animation stuff on his resume, but some of it is live action. So he has been tapped to be the composer. I keep saying sound guy. That's a running joke, right? But he's the composer for Skeleton Crew.
Oh, no way. Cool.
That's cool. I like that they're keeping it in the family.
Yeah,
that's neat.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a few weeks ago I was talking about who is it? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
How just like just being in the family of a an iconic director, you're gonna pick up a few. You're gonna pick up a few things, right? Like I would imagine it's the same for an iconic composer.
It's really cool.
That is it for the news.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, gentlemen, who is working on what?
Oh, it's on me. Well, I didn't even realize it was on me. Just grabbing what I'm working on. So last week I shared some stuff I was working on, and if you recall, it was the Wolverine Gauntlets and claws and stuff. And so since then, I have indeed worked on it. And as far as I'm concerned, they're done.
Oh, baby.
I'm showing them on the screen for the listeners. So, yeah, I have them on. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Pretty stoked how everything came out. I didn't know there was black in the middle here under. So I added that. And, I think they came out pretty cool. Yeah. Just waiting for the suit so I can put everything on and see how to properly fit these hand plates on.
Yeah.
So I think I might just line it like the whole shape of this and put that on the glove so I can just literally pop it on, slip this on, and have it on. And then
what if those were permanently affixed to the glove, and then you just put your hands kind of into the glove and weave them through? Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Or is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. So like I can before I put it in my hand, I can press it onto the glove right where it should be, and then slip my hand in and have it be where it needs to be. Whatever.
Nice.
And then if I want to, I can switch to hand plates that don't have claws in the same way. Just pop them on with the Velcro.
That's cool.
So we'll see. That's the idea. That's the plan. We'll see what actually happens. But that's it.
You turned out so good. Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah,
pretty cool.
You did your homework on all the scratches too. I mean, all of the reference photos we got at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I took those photos without
there
really
next to the suit,
Yeah, but I didn't have the intention of really making anything. I was just like, oh, this is awesome. I just want photos. And then I'm like, oh my god, I have all the reference. Yeah.
I have the photos.
or yeah, at least the reference for that version. So I also
Yeah,
used some photos.
I'm sure there's a couple suits too, but I mean, it is screen accurate. That suit was definitely
I think it
used,
was
you know?
screen used, yeah. So yeah, so there's those are done as far as I'm concerned. And David is actually making me those metal claws. So
Ooh,
we'll see what
nice.
happens with that. I don't know if they're gonna come shaped or in 2D form, just like flat. So maybe I'm gonna have to Dremel shape them or something. I don't know. We'll see. But those are coming. So
Sweet.
yeah, that's it.
Are you not going to talk about the other thing?
Oh.
BRB.
Yeah, we were so I was gonna wear this, but I'm not. So Raimi and I both got one of these bad boys. Basically, it's the new sculpt of the Nikto aliens from Star Wars. Nigel Chua made these, painted them. I think he sculpted it, molded it, casted them, painted them, everything. So hats off to him. These are awesome. They're a little small and tight. I don't want to cut it up too high because it's a little visible. So yeah, down here is where it goes, I guess. But I think they look good when they're on, and once you have the eye makeup on and it matches the tone of their faces, they're pretty badass. Bad BA.
BA.
But
Those are very BA.
So they're pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great.
I might put one on later. We'll see. But
Yeah, Steph just dropped the Instagram account in the chat.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Cool.
Wildflower Studios. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I can't tag you. He's like, oh, tag the studio. I'm like, all right, tag the studio. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Does he do any other aliens or
I think he has. I'm not. He has done a few things. He's done a bunch of cool stuff, but I don't think he's done any other masks before, or at least I haven't seen any. I think this is the first one I've seen him do.
Got it.
He's done painted other prints and stuff, but this is I saw him do this, and I'm like, bro, what's the
so
deal?
cool.
Tell me about it. Yeah, so pretty cool. Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Bye.
So yeah, as Sean mentioned, we've got these masks. So we'll stay tuned. We'll have something coming with them. We've got a few ideas for what we're going to do with them and how they're appearance. So the other thing that I was going to show off is it's in a lot of pieces so far.
Oh.
These are the biggest pieces.
So you're making the dog from A Never-Ending Story?
Yeah. That's Falcor's head.
Falcor? Yeah, Falcor.
No, so this is the Zorg ZF1. So it's light. The handle's adjustable for easy carrying, good for righties and lefties, breaks down into 4 parts, undetectable by X-ray, ideal for quick, discreet interventions. A word on firepower, titanium recharger, 3,000 round clip with burst from 3 to 300 with a replay button, another Zorg invention. It's even easier. One shot and replay sends every following shot to the same location. And to finish the job, all the Zorg oldies but goodies, rocket launcher, arrow launcher with explosive poisonous gas heads, very practical. My famous net launcher, the always efficient flamethrower, my favorite, and for the grand finale, the all-new ice cube system. So so this may or may not be related to a future costume build that I'm working on. But yeah, I've got parts. There's like 150 some odd parts that need to be printed out for this blaster. I've been seeing I'm just gonna do a static build. I've been seeing there's this dude that's got the full robotic opens up and goes crazy. There's no way that thing's cheap. That thing's got to cost a fortune. That's got to be an car payment.
I've hit him up about it. It's $900 for the kit, so unbuilt.
Yeah.
Oof.
But there's metal parts. There's
he's also got aluminum parts.
There's legit parts to it. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I could build the kit, but oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Raimi, have you gone on the RPF to see the builds on RPF?
Yeah, there's some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
I mean, I got the parts. All these parts would work with whatever, and I'll do at least some electronics, but I'm
has to open.
We'll see.
That's the hardest part.
Has to open, and then what did you say is his favorite? The flamethrower.
The flamethrower. The flamethrower. Yeah. Oh, well, Brian, Brian goes to the gun shop and North Carolina, and there's like flamethrowers on the end cap for sale for $75, and then he wonders why we're mad that he didn't buy one for each of us. It's like, come on. So yeah, maybe we'll have him hook us up. So that's my workbench.
Oh man. So this week I took some time and went through the archives of Mandalorian armor pieces and parts that I had and just decided to do a little house cleaning. Got everything photographed, which like takes time. Like you kind of forget, like, you know, going through that process of like digging stuff out, taking photos of it, different angles, just make sure the light is good. So I went through, I found a bunch of stuff I've been meaning to do for a while, and put up a little sale of some Mandalorian parts on my Instagram stories. Just cleaning house, thinning the herd, felt pretty good to do. I've done it once before, and yeah, and it was rad. Got some cool parts out to people that needed something, and helped me make some space. And you know, like printing Mando armor pieces, I mean, a lot of it just comes from me learning how to like use the machines a little bit better. That's typically like what I go to as kind of like a comfort print, like trying to like dial my machine in, or you know, I like building all the Mandalorian stuff in general, but they're really kind of symmetrical, like pieces that are kind of easy for me to print. So they've been good for me to like dial in my printing and learn the machines a little bit better. So yeah, I usually like putty them up, paint them up, use them a few different times, and then yeah, it kind of feels cool to send them back out into the wild. And then this week has kind of been filled with like digital workbench. I'm the GWL for our garrison, and I do all of the cutting and pasting templates for photos for new members, new costumes. I get those uploaded into the system, and then those are what show up on the 501st site if you're to search for somebody. So we had a big influx over the summer, and usually I let it kind of stack up to get, you know, 5, 6, 7, you know, to 10 images from different people like built into the system. So yeah, chipping away at that this week. Feels really good to knock those off my plate, get everybody uploaded. And just one of those things that needs to get kind of done. So it's fun to do. It's kind of a neat little project, and feel like you're contributing to the garrison. And then yeah, I'm actually working on some art for something else, just on my industry side of things. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. And I don't have like a total confirmation on what I'm working on yet, but there's some pretty fun stuff in the works. So more artwork, more digital workbench stuff probably in my future.
Nice. Next Doom drop when?
Oh, very soon.
Oh, nice.
Might be a collab. Might be a collab project.
Yeah, we should talk collabs. Definitely. That's about it.
All right. So for my workbench, I know I showed you guys last week the Deadpool booty controller that I made. I too have a Wolverine item on my workbench, like John.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
It's not fully finished yet. I gotta print the belt buckle. I gotta paint the belt buckle on the touchpad. But yes, we have Wolverine's booty controller.
That's amazing.
And now
ketchup and mustard.
Amazing.
Now they're matching.
So funny.
What I actually did the Deadpool one I did in resin, and I treated it like, you know, the highest quality of prints that I can, right? On the Wolverine one, I wanted to see if I could do it in like a cost-effective method and get the same results. And lo and behold, I sure did. So I printed this out of Silk PLA on the Creality K1 Max, and the files are from Do3D, and put it up to the screen so you can see the texture on it.
Wow,
beautiful.
It I don't know what you would call this, the fabric pattern, I guess.
Yeah, the texture.
It came out almost identical to
Flawless,
the
dude.
resin
Dude, it
print.
looks production again. It looks like a production
can't-
piece. It's crazy.
You know, for the life of me, I can't find any print lines on it. Once I
That
hit it
looks so
with
nice.
once I hit it with the primer, the paint, and the clear coat, it's nearly identical to the Deadpool one. And even though I used ABS like resin on the Deadpool,
yeah.
there's just something about the flexibility of plastic. And so we always talk about, like the different mediums and the different things, materials that we use for different projects. Now that I've printed both of these controller covers in resin and PLA, I think PLA is the winner here. Because like I said, in the hands, and 12 inches, a foot from your face, 1 foot from your face, the quality is identical.
Also, what happens if you drop the one that's resin printed?
That's the thing. Yeah, like I don't want to. I mean,
No,
I'm
obviously.
sure it would be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to.
But
whereas the Wolverine one, I'm not concerned.
should be fine, right?
Yeah.
Is the resin one terribly heavier, or are they pretty comparable?
No, they're comparable. I would say that the butt on Deadpool is a little bit heavier, whereas
A little more
the booty on Wolverine is much lighter.
Much lighter. Yeah.
It's detachable, huh?
Oh yeah, it's detachable. So you got to add magnets here so that you can hold it like a regular controller.
You can grip it. Yeah.
And then
Oh, you couldn't play holding the cheeks? Damn.
you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna.
It's all preferences. Yeah.
Is it gonna enhance your skill?
Your accuracy. It might increase the accuracy when you're aiming.
Depends on how good you are with your hands.
But now that I've completed both of these, once I get the Wolverine finished up painting, probably tonight or tomorrow, I'll be throwing those on. I don't know. I might just throw them on my social media and see who bites.
See if someone wants one.
And I think.
Hey, what were
That's
those
it.
katanas you were flashing? You were flashing some sweet katanas while Raimi was doing the news.
So these are sparring katanas, sparring training katanas for kids.
Nice.
So they're like about maybe 19, 20 inches long.
Yeah.
But they're solid, hard plastic for actual sparring. I got these for my kid's Deadpool costume for Halloween.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So he said my older one said he wanted to be Deadpool. My younger one said he wanted to be Wolverine.
Nice.
So,
both good choices.
I'm not just gonna go buy the Disney Store costume for them.
The rubies. Yeah.
It's gotta be legit built. So these are gonna be his katanas.
Nice. Excellent.
Hopefully he doesn't, use them on his brother.
Katana, his brother.
That's it for my workbench.
Nice. Good bench, dudes.
Heavy.
I'm touching myself tonight.
Whoa.
Sorry, that takes a while. Okay, there we go. That's my Marvel prop for the week. Okay. We have some news about some movies, some comics, some games, some toys. There was a little bit of news that we found, so we put it together. Shan Chi news in the mix. So Simu Liu was recently quoted in the press during a interview. He said, "A lot of this is above my pay grade, but it's definitely happening. So just very excited to kind of work on it, and it's going to be amazing. I can't really say anything beyond that." But this was the last in the last week he was quoted saying that. So hope we get to see more from Shan Chi. I liked the first movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. And
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, if they do a part 2, like that could be a good way to bring back Luke Cage, potentially like an Iron Fist, and start maybe discussing and delving into more of the esoteric martial arts 70s, early 80s kind of stuff.
No, I heard from D23.
Oh,
I
Iron
don't know.
Fist is in something. Yeah, he's in
He's in
Eyes of
Wakanda.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it the same
So-
one though?
Yeah, it was the Iron Fist actor. They had him on stage. I remember
The
seeing
curly
that.
haired dude from Game
Yeah.
of Thrones?
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. But Shang-Chi news, that's cool. I'm stoked that's still
Heck
kind of on
yeah.
the table. Then we have some X-Men 97 news. This is just from a character perspective, but it sounds like Sabertooth is joining the voice cast and bringing him back as a character in the series. Super stoked on that because that means we're going to get little brother and him brawling at some point.
Yeah.
And I hope they keep this version of the costume too. I like the 80s kind of style with the wild like lion mane, but this is probably his most iconic look. So hyped on that. And then we get some comic news, which, you know, Marvel always does a great job of doing things to bubble up and percolate in the comics world that are then going to bleed into the larger narrative of Marvel in general as we get towards the timeline that we're going to see Doctor Doom start to be introduced into the MCU. So 2025, One World Under Doom storyline. It's going to be their banner event for the year. And they haven't announced any talent as far as writers and artists on the main part of the event so far, but there's a ton of spinoffs coming with it as well. And the series is actually getting started right now in Blood Hunt, which is a miniseries right now going on the comic side that deals with Doctor Strange and kind of some really cool esoteric parts of the Marvel universe. Like, I think it's kind of vampire based right now, and the undead is it's kind of like a magical side of it. So this last week they did a little tease with Doctor Doom being introduced as kind of a save, kind of like a fail safe for the magical side of things for Marvel. So this was teased, and now it's going to bleed into 2025 to this big event. Hyped on that.
Sick.
Dude,
Yeah.
I need to follow up with the person that I met at Comic-Con because there's a service called Marvel Unlimited. Normally it's $69.99 a year. But I was talking with someone at the Marvel booth for the Unlimited thing, just about partnering up for the pod to get some discount codes. But man, that service is amazing. It's literally every comic ever, every Marvel comic ever.
Yeah.
So when they did the when X-Men 97 finale'd and they kind of worked in the Fatal Attractions thing with Logan getting his adamantium ripped out.
Yep.
I went back to my comics, like my physical comics, and I had the Fatal Attraction set, which is only 6 issues. But when I looked it up on Marvel Unlimited, there's like 17 issues that cross-fed into that that I never knew about. So then I started reading that, and I was just like, oh, thank goodness I had that.
So rad.
That's rad.
Yeah, I subscribe to Marvel Unlimited. It's so nice for that because it's exactly that, where you have a big event and you have all these little string fringe side stories that you didn't either budget for when you were younger or even,
Right.
or even were aware of.
You might not even know, right?
Yeah, and comics get expensive. You start talking about these large events, so it's a nice way to be able to like dive into some of those side stories and get extra feel from the larger event. Really cool.
We don't have our discount code yet. But if you go to the website right now, marvel.com/unlimited, they have a promo on there which is 3 months for $3.
Whoa.
So you
Damn.
just try it out. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and you get a week for free. Yeah, it's like I said, we're not sponsored by them, but man, it's a good service because it's every Marvel comic, not just like X-Men and
It's everything, and
everything,
it's all of the Star Wars comics. You know,
Exactly, yes.
Marvel.
I was gonna
took
say,
over
Star-
from the Dark Horse. You know, Dark Horse had the license for the comic stuff forever. It's all of the Dark Horse stuff, which I've read all of it probably twice.
I have some
And
of that stuff. Yeah.
it's all the new Marvel Star Wars stuff. I mean, it's so comprehensive. They have so much gold and silver age comic stuff too. I mean, if you want to go back and read 1960s and 70s X-Men, you can totally do that. Early Chris Claremont, which is pretty rad.
If Brian were here, he'd be like, I don't read.
Yeah.
Reading's for sissies.
Reading for dorks.
I shoot arrows at no one.
Deer can't read. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just neat to see, you know, when they start to like do these large, it's almost just brand wide, you know, where it's just all of Marvel starting to like drift towards telling a bigger narrative. So it's cool to see this big Doom event coming. Then we have a Wolverine miniseries called Wolverine Revenge with Greg Capullo, who's coming back to Marvel to do this. He's been at DC for a super long run doing Batman with Scott Snyder, which was also super amazing for a super long time. But he was old school, early 90s Marvel guy, you know, kind of a Todd McFarlane, you know, what's the opposite of mentor? Mentee? Student, apprentice, yeah, I guess apprentice.
Yeah,
kind of like a Todd McFarlane, you know, apprentice in a way. He was an early Image guy too. So this is going to be cool. I think this is going to be kind of like a greatest hits of like Wolvie's villains. It sounds like walking through his history while also looking forward. Jonathan Hickman's done he actually did the Secret Wars storyline, Secret Wars 2, which sounds like they're going to probably grab some things out for the MCU version of Secret Wars that's going to happen, sprinkle it and pepper it with Secret Wars 1984. But yeah, Jonathan Hickman's great writer, Greg Capullo, awesome artist. Sounds like this is a mini, but still going to be really good. I love that artist. Then we get some toy news. Oh, actually, shoot, you know what? Let me go one more comic thing. Oh, I missed it. I missed the comic slide. Sorry, dudes. But there is a Black Panther versus the Predator miniseries debuting this week. So if you Marvel,
grab your special sock, Steven.
Yeah, Steven, get your special sock, get on Marvel Unlimited, and start reading this book. It looks insane. I had a slide made for it. I guess I forgot to add it in.
Dude, the Predator, is he going to go in Wakanda?
Yeah, so it's a hunt based in Wakanda after the Black Panther is the tagline for it. There's a great writer and artist involved with it too. One of the artists has been doing the Stormbreaker series as a recent, Chris Allen, and then Benjamin Percy's the writer for the series. So it's going to be really good. The cover looks insane. I'm downloading it tonight to read and fall asleep to. It looks really
if Predator picks up and steals like a piece of vibranium, that's over. Like,
man,
yeah.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, it could tie into like something, you know, telling the story about where vibranium maybe came from into the Marvel universe. Like maybe it came from
Predator.
Well, no, like it came from space, right? I mean, maybe there's some sort of like weird Predator tie in there that's where they
Predator's mask has been made of vibranium.
Yeah.
Or his blades. Has his blades ever been like cut off in any of the series? Like,
I don't think so.
See, maybe it's vibranium blades. Could be vibranium blades. So that's pretty dope. And then, I mean, dude, we're talking Marvel Minute. So I'm also a toy boy. So I want to talk some toys.
Toy boy.
We have these are 2 new releases for this week.
It was a
little late. It was a little light on the MCU news, so I'm sprinkling in everything. Yeah, the Mafex Phoenix figures. So they do really dope Legends scale figures with a little bit more detail, a little bit more accessories, sometimes extra heads. Yeah, there we go. That Wolvie. Is that the Legends one or is that the?
This is a Marvel Legends one, but
Yeah.
I think this is what the suit is based off in the movie. This version,
Yep.
which is not my favorite version, but it's cool.
Astonishing X-Men style.
Yeah.
And then we get a Deadpool 2 movie version of Colossus. And this is a deluxe figure, so this one's retailing at $39.99. It's a little bit more expensive. But what you don't see in the other half is extra appendages and heads. And he's got a couple of books that he has when he enters the door for Deadpool and Deadpool 2. So.
That's cool.
And that kind of concludes it, man. It was a little light on the news, but easy to find some stuff.
Cool. Thanks, man.
There's always something.
Always something.
Why did you make me do this? Guess you have a choice. You want a war? Or do you want to just give me a gun? My father, he go toilet on my hands.
Oh my God.
Urine is 35 degrees Celsius. Staves off the frostbite.
How is this relevant?
You know, fathers.
All right. So this week we're going to be talking about a show that I've been watching for the last week. I think I started it last Wednesday. It's a show called Scavengers Reign, REIGN, Reign. And it actually aired. So I'm watching it on Netflix, but it actually was an HBO original. Like it aired there originally. And then I guess Netflix bought the rights for it recently, and that's how I found it. And it's basically this animated show. It's basically the quickest and easiest way for me to describe it is basically Mobius meets Covenant meets Aeon Flux.
Whoa.
Oh.
So basically, and this is the synopsis of the show. So it's created by Joseph Bennett and Charles Huetner. And the synopsis is the remaining crew of a damaged interstellar freighter ship find themselves stranded on a beautiful yet unforgiving alien planet where they must survive long enough to either escape or be rescued. And basically what happens is, there's a ship in orbit and something happens where they have to use the escape pods and they go to this planet. And the ship is still in orbit. It's still there and it has a bunch of people cryo frozen, whatever. And the planet has all sorts of aliens and plant life and creatures, and basically all of these pods dropped in different areas, and that the people don't know where the other people are. And they're looking for a way to get the ship to either rescue them or come back down or something. It's really crazy. And the conclusion at the end is I won't say anything, but there is a conclusion. And I'm really hoping there's a season 2 because it totally sets up for a season 2, and it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I do highly recommend it. And I don't think any of you guys have seen it, so I'm not going to ask you what you guys think. But I do recommend watching it if you have a spare. The episodes are 20 minutes long, so It's not very long. And it's if you can dive in a little bit, it's super crazy. Like all this stuff happens to all of them, and they're on an alien world. So there's high stakes, and the wildlife is after them, and the plant life is after them, and it's really cool. I don't know if there's is this a trailer?
Yeah, but I'm not putting the audio.
No sound, right? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. So
way to nail the initial tagline that you gave with it. It totally has a Mobius kind of French European large graphic novel scale art style to it. It's really beautiful.
They have a lot of like cinematography in these scenes where it's like these huge panels, and it's like, oh man, that's so Mobius inspired. You can tell, like it's so, there's certain parts where you're like, wow, yeah, it's really gnarly.
Wow,
definitely worth the watch.
Very cool.
It's not super violent, and there's not really any nudity. It's an adult cartoon, but there's no weird stuff in it. I don't know. I think it's like PG.
No weird stuff in it as a dude's hand turns into a mushroom.
No, there's definitely a lot of weird stuff, but no like sexual stuff. That's what I meant.
No, I know.
Nothing to keep from kids, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
But
Nothing
they're gonna trip out if they
slam
watch
your
this
laptop
anyway,
shut as somebody walks in.
Yeah, it's not that's something like that. Yeah,
dude, it looks awesome. I totally.
I'm telling you
want to
guys,
watch
if you can watch it, 20 minutes a pop. I think it's I'm not sure how many episodes. I kind of got lost in the sauce. I think it's like 16 episodes or something.
Nice.
Maybe, I don't know. Awesome series. I really hope the ending is like a cliffhanger, but it's like what, like awesome.
Oh man, dude, can I put a Hunter's hard drive request in, like a retro? Can we do the Animatrix and talk about that sometime? Because that just reminded me of it.
We'd have to all rewatch it first.
Yeah,
we'd have to all rewatch
it.
I still have my DVD copy,
dude.
Wow. I don't.
I probably do too, actually. Yeah.
Is that a Netflix thing? Is it an HBO thing?
Animatrix? Can we even stream it?
Okay,
that used to be on Netflix.
If we're gonna do this, we need to make it a homework assignment for the audience too.
Like everyone would have to watch it.
We say like everybody watch it.
Hold on,
by this date. This is the date we're gonna do it, and we do it.
All right, that's like a community Hunter's hard drive. That's a good idea.
And you guys know by this point, I'm not a huge fan of the scary stuff, but it's like scary, but in the coolest way. Like,
so this is scary, but not terrifying.
Yeah, not terrifying. Like, it's not like jump, scare stuff. It's just very like unnerving,
tense moments. Yeah,
very tense.
It's not
moments.
like it's not nightmare fuel.
Yeah,
it's just crazy
that little clip of that show kind of reminded me of some Animatrix.
So I found it on Amazon Prime. You can buy it. You can buy it for $8 or stream it for $2.
Oh, amazing!
And it's all 9. It's all 9 short films.
Oh, dude, that'd be.
So
fun.
do we want to? Do we want to
like? They're short.
Do we want to? Because when you say like Animatrix, I always think about.
I'm talking the whole, the whole catalog of it, the whole 9
shebang,
little
the whole
films
9,
or whatever.
all 9.
Yeah, I always think it's like an anthology, right? They're all like little single shorts. Like you gotta.
I always think about the one with the robot. They take over.
Oh, that one. Isn't the whole thing about?
Do we do like one short per week or something like that across?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
like we did with Visions, or maybe 2.
You know what? I wonder if because the Animatrix was like so ahead of its time.
It was so ahead of its time.
We need to look up, John, and you can check this out. Like in your Hunter's hard drive. I wonder if those animation studios like blew up since then.
Probably.
Like for all we know, it could be like
they might
running
be the
Marvel TV animation or something. Yeah. Totally. I mean, there was so much talent in that. I put that in what I remember of Matrix 1, 2, and 3. Like Matrix 1 was be all end all fantastic. Animatrix was number 2, and then 2 and 3 were kind of stacked out after that. And I didn't even really enjoy 2 or 3 that much. I don't think. I think I was kind of over it by then. But the styles of all of those anthology shorts in Animatrix, they're also different. But just that little clip of that Scavenger's Reign show just jogged my brain to some Animatrix vibes.
Dude, I mean, definitely watch that because
it's I'm going
trippy and like very I don't know, creative and like it's certain whatever the animals they think of are like how do like what and it makes sense or whatever, like it's awesome. Everything's alien. So
awesome.
And we'll discuss the Animatrix stuff. We'll see what we can do, if we can do a series or something of weekly things or whatever. We'll chat about that and we'll see what we can do. Check that out though. Scavenger's Reign.
Looks like Animatrix was 4 different studios across the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 episodes. Most of it was Studio 4C, like 4 degrees C.
Yeah. And then 4 degrees Celsius.
Madhouse did a couple episodes. DNA Productions and Square USA. But like 4 of them were 1, 2, 3, 4 of them were Studio 4C, 4 degrees C.
And they just had different artists and animators working on them, I suppose.
Probably.
Like between that one studio that did the 4. I guess they did different artists for those.
I'm looking.
It's
It's hard to. The director was different across.
Yeah.
The director wasn't the same across all 4 of them.
Hmm.
The writer was not the same across all.
It's probably
4
like
of
a
them.
Visions thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah,
teams.
that's what it's almost like Visions, but back in 2003.
Do we know the studio
So
that
cool.
did Scavenger's Reign? Because man, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
Oh wow, James Arnold Taylor did a voice in one of the episodes of The Matrix.
Oh, really? Wow. That's cool. God, can you imagine a Star Wars show done in that Scavenger's Reign animation style?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Visions has been kind of getting close
It's
to.
Titmouse.
Yeah.
Steven.
That's what it.
Titmouse.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You heard him.
That Scavenger's Reign kind of looks like an elevated style comparison, kind of in my brain to the holiday special Boba Fett introduction, like that little cartoon. I always liked the animation in that little cartoon.
So it is a bit
Scavenger's
like
Reign
that.
almost looks like a more developed style of that.
It's like a modern version of that with way
less
trickier,
cartoony.
yeah, like
Yeah,
more
less
tech, more
cartoony. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it's all adult themes. Like there's like
And just the
their lives are
pastel
on the
color
line.
palette too. I mean, it's got this really like pastel kind of unique.
It's like
color
soft
palette to it.
colors. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not
Very
scary. It's
unearthly though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
So
Great,
cool.
great show. Yeah,
nice dude. Nice pick.
Super cool.
It did.
I want to clean my gun and be alone with my thoughts. And I don't need to talk about anything else.
Brian, I'm borrowing your segment for this week. So guys, I didn't tell you guys about this, but I've been working on it, and I don't have a name for it yet. It's a new segment that I want to work on, and it was something that somebody brought up at one of our live shows about a year ago. And one of the things that they talked about, one of the things that the listener mentioned that they wanted to hear more about on our show was parenting tips. And so I've been thinking about, like what kind of parenting tips can we give? Like, oh, hey kids, don't eat glue, or
Probably not that,
the right kinds of thing to build with. But I didn't really think that would be beneficial, right? And that's why it's taken me this long to kind of piece this together. And I kind of had hinted, way back in the early days of our show that I myself, when I was a new parent, I went through like a Parents Anonymous class, and they teach you a lot about not only therapy for yourself, but therapy on how to understand your kids, how to deal with the emotions that you have as well as your kids have. And so like I've been kind of playing with that, and then something came up this week with my kid, and I won't go into the types of discipline that we use in our home. I think that every parent should make that decision for themselves. But when you have a kid who's growing up, they're at that age where they're discovering new emotions within them. They're testing their boundaries with you as the parent. There's a lot of strain and a lot of stressors that can go both ways. And
sure.
I know that myself as a kid, my dad was very militaristic when it came to the discipline in our house, right? So I knew not to act a certain way when because I knew what the consequences would be. However, and this is where it kind of gets like the I don't know, some would say it's like the new age way to parent, But I will say, having gone through what I went through this week, and I'll get to that in a second. It's really opened up my eyes in the discipline factor, because so my son, he had like a big tantrum tirade against my wife, and they were really going at it. Well, I shouldn't say they. He was really going at her, saying like, "You're the worst ever. You suck the fun out of everything." Just really resenting her. But it wasn't necessarily her that he was resenting. He was resenting the fact that he couldn't have fun at that moment, that he had to do I think it was his homework or something at that time. And so, as a young person with those feelings, you don't know how to handle it. So she remained cool and level-headed like she always does, sent him to his room, where he probably cried for an hour before he was able to calm down. She went to approach him again to kind of discuss everything now that she saw him calm down. He just started right back up. So she said, "Go take a shower, go, cool yourself off." And it was at this moment that my wife was really at a loss. She didn't know what to do anymore. Her approach of trying to talk it out, see the emotions that are going through, wasn't working. For a moment, she said, she thought, let's just do it, the old school way, spanking, whatever. But she didn't give into that train of thought. She wanted to continue with really figuring it out. And so she looked it up online. And one of the things that she, one of the things that she looked up was positive affirmations. And I'm very familiar with this because when I was in my classes a few years ago, we had to end every class with a positive affirmation of ourselves. And our instructor or our group leader would always say, they would always give us the affirmation that we had to say about ourselves, like, "Oh, I am good enough," or whatever. And then towards, a couple years later, we had to come up with our own. So those positive affirmations had to come from within, and we had to recite it, speak it into existence. So my wife decided to try this with him and said, "Hey, look, I know this is going to be kind of weird, but I just want you to say, 'I am a good boy.'" He couldn't say it. He just kept saying, "I am a boy." He couldn't call himself good. And it took quite a few tries for him to say that. Now, contrary to that, the things that he was saying before were, "I hate my life." And when obviously he doesn't hate his life, he hates the way that he's feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to describe. But the thing is, if you have a negative affirmation about yourself and you repeat it so much, eventually one day it'll become your perspective of how you see yourself. Who knows what that could lead to? Suicide, maybe. God, I hope not. But it could lead to so many other things, right?
Yeah.
So for him to have such a difficulty speaking a positive affirmation about himself, that was proof. That was proof that it actually works. Because eventually, once he got to the point where he could say that he is a good boy, "I am a good boy. I am brave. I am happy," those sorts of things. After you repeat it so often, it really does work. So, for the parents out there, if there's anyone out there, out of our 12 listeners who might have a kid who's having a hard time, very specific situation, try that. Try giving yourself, you and your kid, try and, repeat to them have them repeat a positive affirmation. If they can't come up with one, give them one until they can come up with one on their own. I think it'll work. But that's it. That's all I have to say. So I am enough, and I am a good boy.
Very nice.
I thought the new segment was going to be you're going to make us have to say nice things about ourselves before we sign off.
I mean, if you want, that's fine.
Gosh darn it, people like me.
That's fine.
No, that was dope. That was dope, Stevie. Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah.
Really good idea.
So, I won't bring this up too often, but I'll figure out the title for the segment. We'll have some good parenting advice. Definitely want to get your guys' input on situations in the future because we are the Dad Batch. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to build cool stuff. We're here to build cool stuff, but we're also here. We're the Space Daddies, here to help all of our space fam.
I can't wait to hear that segment song.
I'm just going to keep stealing Brian's for right now. But I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed listening to the pod, beat that algorithm and leave a 5-star review with hopefully a cake emoji on your podcast app. You can follow me at stevie.kicks on Instagram, sometimes on X and Threads. Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they can find you. John?
Alpha Ignition. Anywhere.
Right on. And Luke?
Left Coast Avenger and Dad Batch Pod.
And Raimi.
Thedadbatch.com.
And what is it? Foxhole?
The
Fox Brothers.
The
Fox
cinnamon.
Brothers.
Fox Bros.
Fox Bros next week. Dragon Con, baby.
Yeah. And Mosh Isley is next week as well in Atlanta.
Yeah, have fun, guys.
Tickets are still available at
good.
moshisley.com.
Go have
fun, be safe.
Man. So much
The
fun.
Mando covert at Mosh Isley.
Super jealous.
Oh, dang. Everyone's going to be in a custom Mando?
Mike Forster's making all those dope Mando flags to hang from the venue too. It looks so good.
There, I might be in a new Mando that nobody's ever seen before. You never know.
Let's do it. It's awesome.
Thank you again, everybody, for listening to episode 103 of the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 104. And until next time, I am a good boy. And enjoy your spice responsibly.